All right, let's see if we can make a little money with these Week 15 best bets. 2 losing weeks in a row now, dropped our record to 500 on the season, so hopefully we can get back on the winning track here this week and build some momentum as we head into the playoffs. There's only 3 games I've decided on here on Sunday, all 3 short home underdogs. That's just a coincidence. Believe me, I look long and hard at each one of these games. Sometimes I think I overthink it. But these are the 3 I have decided on. I'd like to go through them now quickly. Starting with the New England Patriots visiting the Miami Dolphins. New England a 1-point road favorite. I'm on the Dolphins here. I think finally they're going to be able to overcome the Patriots. New England, after all, has won 9 of the past 10 games in this series. But the Patriots have been regressing steadily on defense for the last several weeks. That's to be expected, of course. They're now without their 2 best defensive players, defensive tackle Vince Wilfork and middle linebacker Gerard Mayo. And Miami has been improving on offense. They scored a season-high 34 points on the road in Pittsburgh last week. I think the Dolphins are going to be able to move the ball consistently and put up some points in this game. And I think their defense, which is 9th in the NFL in points allowed right now, is going to be able to hold up against that New England offense that will be minus Rob Gronkowski. Remember what the New England offense looked like over the first 6 weeks of the season. Bottom half of the league in yards per game and points per game. When Gronkowski came back, made a big difference. Not sure they're going to be quite as bad as they were early in the year, but on the road against this Miami defense, just don't feel like it's a good spot for New England. I realize this is Brady versus Tannehill and Belichick versus Joe Philbin. Believe me, I've second-guessed myself a couple of times this week on this Dolphins pick, but I'm going with it. Believe the Dolphins will be the better team on Sunday and pull out the home win over the Patriots. Next game I'd like to talk about, the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Tennessee to face the Titans. Arizona a 2.5-point favorite on BETDAQ, and I'm on the Titans. The Cardinals have not been particularly good on the road this season. The only teams they've beaten on the road have been Tampa Bay and Jacksonville, and that was back when both those teams were struggling. Their offense in particular struggles on the road. Arizona only averaging 17.7 points per game on the road this season, and Tennessee not quite as bad as their record would indicate. The Titans currently sitting at 5-8. Yes, they've lost 4 of their last 5, but you look at those 4 losses. 3 of them have come by 8 points or fewer, and then they lost to the Denver Broncos last week. Now, the final score of that game, it was lopsided, no doubt, but you remember Tennessee was ahead at halftime of that game on the road in Denver, so the Titans might be a little better than you think. Heading into that game last week against Denver, they ranked top 10 in both total defense and points allowed. And once again, Arizona averaging fewer than 18 points per game on the road this season. Really feel like the Tennessee defense is going to be able to control that Arizona offense. And Ryan Fitzpatrick has been playing better and better over the last few weeks at quarterback for the Titans. So I think Tennessee is going to win the game outright, even though it's a big game for Arizona. I think the Titans as a 2.5-point home underdog, a good bet. Final game I want to talk about, the Sunday night primetime game. The Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. Bengals a 2.5-point favorite. I'm on the Steelers again. Yes, I was on the Steelers last week. They cost me money, blowing a fourth quarter lead, losing to the Miami Dolphins. Because of that, initially I was staying away from this one. It gave me some hesitation, but in reviewing this game thoroughly, listen, I just think it's an opportunity, and I'm not going to let the fact that the Steelers have burned me recently take me off of the Steelers this week. I'm not going to let one game beat me twice, and I do feel like that's what would happen if I laid off of this game just because I lost backing the Steelers last week. Cincinnati, an inconsistent offense, we know that. They've produced 21 points or fewer 7 times this season, and Pittsburgh is good on defense. Now, they've had a couple of not-so-good games on defense, namely their collapse on the road in New England in the first half of their home game against Detroit, and they didn't play particularly well last week against Miami, even though it's not like Miami moved the ball up and down the field the whole game. But you look at this Steelers defense as a whole, they're still top half of the league in total defense, pass defense, and points allowed. As we said, the Cincinnati offense very inconsistent this season, especially on the road. The Bengals have been much better offensively at home than they've been on the road. And the Pittsburgh offense has been playing very, very well for the past 6 weeks. I know Cincinnati is tough on defense, but really, ever since rookie running back Le'Veon Bell has emerged and given the Steelers a legitimate threat in the backfield, this Steelers offense has taken off. Been a long time now. Been since, I believe, the month of October since they've been held to fewer than 20 points. I believe they're going to beat the Bengals on Sunday night. I know this is a big game for the Bengals, and a lot of people think the Steelers, since they've lost back-to-back tough games, that their back might have been broken, so to speak, and they might be done for the year. I'm not sure. This game is going to be the Steelers' Super Bowl because they are effectively out of playoff contention. But this against a division rival who beat them early in the year, a home game on Sunday Night Football, so the football watching world will be watching. I do believe this is going to be the last stand of the 2013 Pittsburgh Steelers. Think they're going to be able to pick up a win over the Bengals. There you have it. Those are my 3 games. 3 home underdogs. I like Miami +1 against the New England Patriots, Tennessee +2.5 against the Arizona Cardinals, and the Pittsburgh Steelers +2.5 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Hey, I wish you best of luck this week in whatever you decide to do, just so long as your interests don't conflict with my interests.